or whatever, then good morning, good day, and all that sort of stuff. I have something extra special for you tonight. I mean, for me personally, I think I haven't been quite this excited about a show lineup in a while. I mean, that's not to say that all previous shows haven't been excellent, because I think they have, but this is something else entirely. I wasn't even gonna record this show yet. You know, it was supposed to be next week, because it was only a couple of days ago that I finished show number 13. So now we're up to show 14, and I just wanted to do it because the songs that I'm gonna be playing for you, you know, they're so damn good. A few weeks back, I got to play a song, the latest single from a little-known Norwegian band called Ulver. I keep mentioning that because it was so damn cool. Well, I've got something similar for you tonight. I mean, I'm going to be playing the new single from Gargoyle. That was super cool of them. I've been, like I mentioned before, I mean, I've been sort of asking around a little from more established indie artists about being maybe on the show, you know, now and again, and I haven't gotten any replies, but the guys in Gargoyle immediately said, yeah, go ahead, play away. So that was so awesome. If you don't know Gargoyle, by the way, you should definitely check them out. They, actually my friend Janne, hi Johnny, from Finland, kind of turned me on to them when their first EP came out in 2019. Last year it was called Asomatos, or Asomatos, I don't know how to pronounce that. But it has a song called Acid Crown on it. And that to me is like the perfect, like it's so good. You really need to listen to that song. And it's a 2-song EP. And that song to me was like, I mean, who are these people? Well, they're, you know, Dave Davidson from Revocation and Luke Roberts from Ayahuasca, who are, I believe, the main masterminds behind this group, Gargoyle, and they're amazing. I mean, and I stumbled onto them by just checking out the release radar on that streaming service that I tend to not speak so kindly of, and I heard this song, which is called Electrical Sickness, and I thought, well, this is some kind of great, and yeah, I'm actually gonna play it for you as the first song on this show. It's so cool. It's from their forthcoming record, which is, let me just check when it's coming out. Well, let's listen to the song, and I'll get back on their case after we've heard it. This is Gargoyle with Electrical Sickness on sleradio.com. Where else? Gargoyle with Electrical Sickness from their forthcoming album, self-titled album, Gargoyle, out on Season of Mist on October 9th. I am so looking forward to that record. It's already available on Bandcamp for pre-save, and I do recommend that you go out. And this is not in any way a paid commercial. I mean, I am not in any way like affiliated with the label or the band in any way. I just really am a big, massive fan of them. That's all. And I don't mind doing some PR for them right here, because that was some of my favorite music by anyone I've heard. I mean, Acid Crown hinted at greatness. I think it's one of probably my favorite songs from last year, and that just really put me in a great mood. I mean, looking forward to October. Let me just go over the lineup again, because my notes were pretty shoddy. So yes, Dave Davidson, Luke Roberts, I already mentioned them. The lineup is rounded up by Brett Layer, who plays bass, and James. Now I have to check the last name. James Knorrell plays drums. This is such a brilliantly put together professional show, isn't it? Anyway, Gargoyle. I mean, well, that was just proggy, sick, awesome, so well played. The production was just that bass tone alone was like worth the price of admission for that horror show. I say that in every positive sense, that because I mean I guess they've been compared a little to the vocal because of the vocals to Alice in Chains, and I do hear hints of the late lamented Lane Staley in the way that the harmonies and the melodies are constructed. But that band as a whole, they're just a beast, really. Gargoyle, great. I don't mind being a fanboy now and again, because when you hear great music, then you just have to like find the little kid in you that gets excited. That was great. Again, massive thanks to the gracious people behind Gargoyle, whoever runs their Twitter, whether it's the band or whoever. I don't know. I am thankful that I got to play the song on this show as the first song. Kick ass. Thank you so much, guys. The next song is gonna be by a band known, an artist called Dark Smoke Signal. It's another fairly recent release I encountered on a streaming service, and got in touch with the artist, said, how would you like to be on the show? And they said yes. This is a great piece of music. Let's listen to it first. The song is called Abandoned, and it's by Dark Smoke Signal, and it is pretty dark and haunting and beautiful. And so was Gargoyle, by the way. But enough of that. Dark Smoke Signal up next on sleradio.com. Dark Smoke Signal with a song called Abandoned out of Bristol, UK. What a great damn song. Just, I was immediately kind of drawn into the less than sort of beautiful melodic things. Just a hint of atonal kind of thing right at the start. I was like, this is not something that you hear a lot in music, in synthwave or music in general. But then on the whole song it has a really I think haunted, I don't know, something like that kind of describes it to me. What an amazing piece of music. I like the little alien dialogue peppered in, towards the end of the song. That was a neat little touch there. Or Aliens, I think the movie is actually titled. I'm not a movie connoisseur. I don't quite know about that stuff. Anyway, on Bandcamp, available there. I strongly recommend that you go and actually buy it, because all proceeds from the sales go in support of a very worthy cause, youthmusic.org overall in the UK, who specialize, as far as I understand, in different types of projects that are aimed at providing opportunities for young people to make music and all that sort of good stuff. Dark Smoke Signal, find him on Bandcamp. What a great artist, great music. Thank you for allowing me to play it on my rinky-dink radio show. Didn't I tell you this was gonna be a good one? I've got some even cooler. Well, I don't know. It's always kind of difficult when you start going off on a tangent and say something is going to be even better than what was played before. I think all of this stuff is really good. I don't play favorites. Well, not often anyway. Anyway, the next artist. I've been wanting to play him from the moment I started doing this show in May. I got in touch, but we've had our wires crossed a little, and he's been busy doing other stuff. But the artist I am talking about is called Alias GK. He put out a record called Perfectly Flawed. I think it was late last year or early this year, I forget. And he got in touch on Twitter, said, how do you like this? Do you like it? And I thought, well, damn, do I ever like it? This is great. And so I asked him if he would like to be on the show. He said yes. But then, life got in the way. And I kind of decided to play him anyway. Got the album. And you're going to hear a song from it now. This is from his record, Perfectly Flawed. And this is the first song. It's called Ghost Mode. Yeah, I think you're gonna really dig this. Alias GK with Ghost Mode on sleradio.com.
There's no need to welcome me back. I've been here. You just ain't seen me. Mr. Incognito, I stay low with my ends. How low? Lower than the dead. If it wasn't for my art and music, the world would never see me again. I'm a ghost, rumor, legend, myth, disappear. Like I don't need none of this. Then I'll reappear to remind you I exist. Then I'll reappear to remind you I'm the shit. Mr. Incognito, anti-social introvert. Put in work and kill it. My room is my tomb, into my own groove. I want it all, everything under the stars, planets, suns, and moons. I've been elevating the underground, jamming with my demons all around. All my skeletons wear crowns. Ghost mode, who can see me now? Mr. Incognito, ghost mode, ghost mode, ghost mode. Stay low, Mr. Incognito, ghost mode, ghost mode, ghost mode. Stay low, Mr. Incognito, ghost mode, ghost mode, ghost mode. Stay low, Mr. Incognito, ghost mode, ghost mode, ghost mode. Stay low. I'm a ghost, rumor, legend, myth, disappear. Like I don't need none of this. Then I'll reappear to remind you I exist. Then I'll reappear to remind you I'm the shit. Dedicated time, sacrifice and lost. Knowing one day investments pay off. Knowing one day that I'ma die. Knowing that this whole world is mine. So what I'm trying to do, what I gotta prove. Time my only opponent when I'm alone and I'm zoning. Elevation in every moment, control it and own it, going in. Cause the life I'm living, I chose it, it's all mine. You can't relate, that's such a shame. But we ain't been trained the same, so you wait to blame. That's why you never see me. And that's why you never see me again. Mr. Incognito, ghost mode,
Alias GK, that was Ghost Mode from his record Perfectly Flawed. Now, this guy out of Toronto, Canada, is just great. I mean, I gotta love... Let me rephrase that. Let's start again. I love old school hip-hop. I grew up in an era where, like, the latest Public Enemy was the thing. You know, late 80s, early 90s. And his Alias's like flow is just harkens back to that era, and then his use of a really sort of great classic hip hop beat, and the guitars in the back, and all the little details and nuances in the production. Like there's this like high, beautiful, high, clean note vocal sound towards the end. All these little things that sort of coalesce into just a type of, I don't know. I loved it from the moment I heard it back. Whenever it was, this was just a type of music that you think, you know, this is the good kind of hip hop that I enjoy listening to. You know, awesome music, and really kind of. This is, I guess, one of those Jeff shows where I have trouble focusing on actually saying something that makes sense. Let's just, I don't know, get on with the music. That's probably the best thing to do here. But let me just point you towards this Bandcamp. So yeah, Alias GK, find him on Bandcamp, obviously on streaming services and Twitter and elsewhere. He definitely is, you know, worth checking out for anybody who is into good music. Well, as is everything on this show. That's kind of the modus operandi here. Why would I play something that I wouldn't, you know, couldn't heartily recommend to anybody who happens to be listening? I think the next artist, I think we're staying in Canada. I've had a fair few Canadian artists on the show, actually. Probably more than U.S. artists, which is interesting. It doesn't matter. The next artist was recommended to me by my good friend Joey of Limbocast fame. Stay tuned. They will be on after me. If you're listening to this online on a Tuesday, then Limbocast should follow immediately after. Anyway, the artist is called Wolves and Wizards. And as we listen to the song, which is called Starless Cold Beyond, Abandoned. That's actually the second song called Abandoned on the show already. I didn't realize. Anyway, Starless Cold Beyond, in brackets, Abandoned, is the song that we're going to listen to next. And I'm going to see if I can think of something coherent to say about this artist while the song plays. On sleradio.com. That was Wolves and Wizards with a song called Starless Cold Beyond Abandoned. Now, as a tribute to how together my show is, I didn't even realize that Dennis, the man behind Wolves and Wizards, were Facebook friends. I didn't know. I mean, I went to check his profile on Twitter and realized that, oh yeah, he's from Saskatchewan, which goes to show that the Joey connection kind of makes sense. Anyway, that was a great song. That's the reason I wanted to play it. Joey sent it to me, and I thought this is an amazing song. I like that sort of glitchy, synthy. I don't know what vibe that is, but it was perfect. I loved it. You know, kind of. You know, what's that style of music anyway? Does it even matter? No, it doesn't. I mean, it's an experimental music project from Saskatchewan. Yeah. Founded by the Ice Wizard. I love that. Yeah. The whole thing is just great. I mean, even I'm just now looking at the graphics on their Bandcamp. I love it. They might be my new favorite artist. I gotta check out everything else they put up. Anyway, this is the kind of show you get when I'm really into the music. I'm just not really focused. not entirely focused on what I'm supposed to be saying. This is not, strictly speaking, a review show. This is Jeff is enthusing about stuff show. Anyway, I shouldn't talk about myself in third person. I find that incredibly annoying. But looking forward to playing more from Wolves and Wizards. Let me just remind you that song was called Starless Cold Beyond Abandoned. Find it on Bandcamp. Go get it. That's a great way to support an artist. Just because really being one, I mean, I've got a couple of Bandcamp projects. That's the way to go, I think, in this day and age. Anyway, enough of that. Next up, another old friend of the show. Another new song I heard on a streaming service, and decided to get in touch and say, hey man, can I play it? And the artist is called Kule, spelled Kule. I played them a couple of shows back. The song then was called Luge, really liked it. Then I heard this new one, it's called I Don't Dream, and I immediately was like, I need to get this, I need to play it. And here it is on SLE Radio. This is Kule, a song called I Don't Dream. From Madison, Wisconsin, that was Kuhl with I Don't Dream. Well, when you can write, you play them to the general public in any way you can, and this is a really meandering review that is not even a review, but anyway, Kuhl, that I like just about everything about that, from the guitar tones to the laid-back sort of laissez-faire attitude and the vocals, but it's all sort of anchored with so perfectly into the song. Whatever, there's always like this core element. It's kind of hard to pinpoint what it is exactly. Why one song using like the basic ingredients of guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's just eh. But with Kuhl, I always get that feeling of like, yeah, this is a guy who knows what the hell he's doing. And I like his whole sort of, DIY vibe. And, it's always such a pleasure to hear that. Like a more coherent Dinosaur Jr. I think I've said it before. I'm not like a huge. I'm not hugely knowledgeable about the sort of alternative side of things, or indeed anything. But I like what I like, and then occasionally I get to. Well, once a week I get to play for 2 hours. I get to play what the hell I like, and then talk about it. And let's just kind of, on that note, play something else that I really like, but I haven't listened to yet, because I like to sometimes keep myself entertained by just giving a chance, just throwing something out there that I haven't listened to. Anyway, this is by A New Hope, my good buddy, from a like a synthwave collab in early summer, and I played him on the show before. I played a song called Star Destroyer, and this is the continuation of that saga. This song is called Terror and Disorder, and the artist from Italy, this is A New Hope. Some synthwave for ya. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is gonna be good. If not, then obviously you're not even gonna hear this, because I'm gonna have to re-record. But that's not gonna happen. That's not how we roll on the Jeff Vicario show. That's a poem for you. Thank you. SLEradio.com. That was A New Hope with a song called Terror and Disorder. In fact, it is the very latest single from A New Hope. It was released August 17th, which was yesterday. Although, looking at it from where I am right now, which is like almost 2 weeks ahead of schedule, it obviously hasn't been officially released. Confusing? Yes, this is frequently a very confusing show. Nevertheless, that was some awesome spacey retro wave from Italy. I gotta love that guy. He has his own, very own style, I think. It's kind of like, really like a sort of cinematic soundtrack, just some sort of epic space odyssey journey. I don't know what, but I do so like me some synthwave, you know. Again, I know I go on about this every time I play synthwave on the show, but the level of sort of not just the technical execution and the production and all of the sort of the technical side aspects of why that music is so great, because everything is always in its right place. But what really always grabs me is how different all these synthwave artists are. They all got their own thing. Like, I've played 2 now on this show, and if you compare that to like Dark Smoke Signal, they're like from 2 different universes, which is just great. Which is why I'm always up for, you know, new adventures in the land of the synthwave. Now, next, this artist was recommended to me by Mr. Keith Schwartz, who was on, I believe it was, was it the last one or the one before that? Anyway, he was on my show. I played his music, and he kindly sent me a recommendation of this particular band, and they're called CoTown Records. And I listened to this music, and upon receiving it, and I thought, well, I obviously have to play this, because where's this sentence going? Nowhere and fast. That's that's my motto. Nowhere and fast. When in doubt, just speak words, and they might form coherent sentences, much like a head of state that you might recall, except I must admit I'm a little bit better looking. What? I don't know. CoTown Records. The album is called Azure Escape, and the song that I'm gonna play from that record is called Azure Escape 6. And this is CoTown Records.
Honestly, I don't see how much longer this can last.
CoTown Records with a song called Azure Escape 6. Now, what do you say about music like that, other than the fact that it's so perfectly perfect, like progressive pop, whatever that is? It was by brothers called Ian and Justin Gregory. Again, Keith Schwartz kindly recommended this record to me, and I must say, it is astounding to think that the people who put that record together were like 21 and 23 respectively at the time of recording, conceiving of that masterpiece. Now, when I was 21, I was writing songs, and you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that you would never, ever, ever, ever want to hear them, any of them, because they were awful, despite what I may or may not have thought of them at the time. And I would say that this is true of most of us who write songs. And to be that skilled and that talented, I don't know what it does to your head to be that great and realize it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of beside the point here, or maybe I'm on point. Who the hell ever knows? I need to listen to the full record because I just picked that song because it was the first one. It is damn amazing. Damn, that's all I can say. CoTown Records. That album, Azure Escape, is on Spotify. I tried to find it on Bandcamp, but I couldn't, so I have to plug this awful streaming service. I don't like it, but you need to listen to this record, I think, all the way through. It is great. Just amazing music. I got some like Rush vibes from the bass line. There was one bass line that was kind of like the Roundabout by Yes or whatever, but mainly the vocals. They had that sort of earnestness, but character. It wasn't cheesy, you know, because I'm not partial to the kind of like operatic prog vocal style. That's kind of always so goddamn passionate that you're kind of left wondering, well, what's left after all that passion you poured into the first 5 notes? What's next? I don't know. But that was just brilliant. Seriously, damn, brilliant. And I'm going to follow that up. Didn't I mention that this is going to be a great show? Yes, I did, and I stand by that statement. Who put this show together? That guy must be a goddamn genius. Ha, bad jokes. Matt Hodges is the artist that we're going to be listening to next. He is out of Australia. Another more recent song that I discovered, and I got in touch with him and said, hey, I got a show for you. Do you want to be on it? And he said yes, because he clearly doesn't know what he was getting himself into, this hodgepodge, rinky-dink radio show that I record on my balcony. And without even a goddamn pop shield for my microphone, which is why this all sounds so terrible. Except the music, which sounds uniformly awesome. The song is called False Dawn, and it's by Matt Hodges, and we're listening to right now. NonSLEradio.com. Matt Hodges with False Dawn on SLEradio.com on a Tuesday or whichever day you happen to be listening to this. I don't know. You may be on Mixcloud. What do I know? The whole ethos let me restart. The whole ethos behind the synthwave movement is kind of odd, weird, and wonderful because it's obviously so kind of 80s. It's hard to pinpoint exactly. Well, I think you could probably pinpoint it very exactly, starting from the huge snare sounds that you'll often get and the whole synth vibe of it. However, what I was gonna say, beyond the fact that was a beautiful composition, and I especially loved the lead synth melody. It was just so gorgeous, beautiful. Anyway, was that I think the essence of synthwave is that it's 80s, but without the cheese. The horrible kind of cheesiness, the over commerciality, or if that's a word. This is just like the pure essence of what was great about that decade. I mean, I used to hate the 80s. I was born in 75, so I remember it all too well. And having surprisingly become a little bit older in the interim years, I quite enjoy it now. I mean, I love me some goddamn duckin' and hard rock and all that stuff. And, the synth music of that era is great too. But the whole kind of thing about synthwave is just, I don't know, they managed, as this huge group of artists, they just managed to tap into what's essential and what's great and cool about it. With or without vocals, they've got it, I think, artistically. That was a deep statement from me, about as deep as you can get. And it was actually just a perfect example of, again, that was the third example of synthwave on the show. And they were all so different. Superficially similar, maybe, in that they all had an electronic beat and some synths. But the styles are so vastly different. I don't know. It's such great. And I'm making up words here, but the next artist is called Somewhat Incognito. Another new song. This is called Mini Vacay. And I had to have it on the show. I loved it so much. I heard it by accident, almost. Well, actually by design. I've been following Somewhat Incognito for a while anyway, so it was not hardly any of a surprise that it was good. I'm gonna stop now. Somewhat Incognito. The song is called Mini Vacay.
Everybody get in the car, we're going out for the weekend. Hit Center City, Philly, get a dilly boy, whoa, hit the Liberty Bell, a ding, 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 dong. And after that we'll get out for a couple of cheesesteaks. Hats or chinos, don't matter to me, I'll get 8 different kinds, how you want it to be. Oh, everybody get in the car, going out for the weekend. Yeah, I'm taking a mini vacay, just a couple of days, but we can get away. So yeah, I'm taking a mini vacay, just a couple of days, but we can get away. Everybody get in the car, we're going out for the weekend. Hit Center City, Philly, get a dinner boy, whoa,
That was somewhat incognito with a quite a recent single, Mini Vacay, out July 24th. Possibly the best song of this, the best summer song so far. I loved it. It's kind of herky-jerky, funny, but a great sort of almost like, I got a bit of a Jarvis Cocker vibe from the vocals, but not in a rip-off kind of way, but in a cool way. It was like a great sort of, I don't know. The Pulp was the first band that came to mind from listening to that, but I just loved it. I really just loved it. It was such a good time song, and I don't know how anybody could not love it, because it was so just, I don't know. It there's something insistent about the beat and the way it just kept rolling and rolling, and then you want to go buy a couple of cheesesteaks, whatever the hell they are. I don't know. Is that like a steak made of cheese, or is it like a cordon bleu type of deal? Or cordon bleu, where there's some cheese in the middle of a steak. I don't know. I don't eat meat, so whatever. There's a tidbit for ya. I'm trying to be a vegetarian. Anyway, somewhat incognito. Do check him out. He's on Bandcamp. He's on streaming services. Find him on Twitter. A great sort of DIY project. I don't know if he does everything by himself. If he does, he's a genius. And then some. I really love his music. Worth everybody's time. I used to say that a lot in the early days of the show. But I've since found other semi-nonsensical things to say about things. Music. Oh, that's why we're here. Yeah, it's the balcony. The sun is gonna creep up on me, so I need to get cracking and finish this damn show. Anyway, Hummingbird. Try finding a song called Hummingbird on Spotify, and you're gonna find a million of them. Anyway, luckily I know the artist who sent this particular Hummingbird to me. Now, there was some confusion as to who they were, but they are, of course, Pernicious Birds. This artist's group was featured on my first ever, and quite possibly last ever, top 10 or top 30, I think it was, blog post that my good colleague, 90s Ghosts, posted for me back in early 2020. I'm probably not ever going to do another one of those, but Pernicious Birds were on it, and this is another song from them that I really enjoy. It's called Hummingbird. Hummingbird from Pernicious Birds from Paris, France. Just effortlessly brilliant songwriting there. Right from the moment the bass starts creeping in and the sound, the tone, the vibe is almost like, I don't know, something from Tool's 10,000 Days or something, right? Something like that. And then this whole sort of cornucopia of different influences and whatever it is that makes that, I mean, quite easily my favorite song of them that I've ever heard. I just noticed they have a new single coming out, which actually just a couple of days before the show. So be on the lookout for that too. This, I understand, is an older song, but nevertheless brilliant, and I couldn't help but share it with you because it was just so good. I mean, from the sort of super distorted drum sounds, the snare that's kind of that sounds like it's so distorted that, you know, how distorted can you get? And then that contrasted with the high and clear and beautiful and sort of what's that word? Ethereal kind of vocal sound that drifts over it, and then the electric piano. I love me some Rhodes or whatever that was, and the way it's sort of detuned in the end. That was just perfect. A brilliant piece of songwriting there. Just that is the kind of music that I adore. Simply put, real musicians playing real music. And I'm not saying this, you know, I don't care whether that was created with a computer. I'm not making the suggestion that using MIDI instruments is somehow makes you less of a musician. That's completely beside the point. That's pretty much all I use for one thing, you know. But the point is that you have the ideas and you have the execution and you make it sound good. I don't really care whether the drums are real, whether a real person plays them. It's great if you have the ability to play grooves like that. But what am I talking about? Anyway, that was a great song. That's just what I'm gonna say. Liaquat Khan. That's what we've got coming next. The song is called Closer to You, and I think it's time for a mood shift. That's the hallmark, trademark, some kind of Mark Bailey. Send me a new song. I want to play your music. Anyway, yeah. What are the chances of him listening to this show? Anyway, the next song is by Liaquat Khan, and the song is called Closer to You on sleradio.com. Liaquat Khan there with a song called... What was the song called? Closer to You. Sorry. I had a playback issue with it. I got distracted. Liaquat Khan. Closer to You. I got a number of songs from him for consideration for the show, but I must admit I just fell for that one because I love that chord change, the chord sequence that runs through the song, that 3-chord movement. It just always grabs me the right way, and especially when it's layered, overlaid with all those great melodies and little intricate details in the songs. That was a bit like an interlude, really, in the middle of the show. You know, just a great little palate cleanser, as they say in restaurants or somewhere. I don't know. I loved it though. The deep bass that just keeps going, and the whole vibe of it was just brilliant, and I think just perfectly encapsulates something. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it's this kind of show that it's these kinds of like inserts, spoken bits that make me the incredibly something or other type of host that I am of this show that I create. Anyway, let's listen to some more hip hop. But first, a big shout out to Liaquat Khan, and thanks for allowing me to play your music on the show. And yeah, whatever. What? I don't know. Let me calm down a little bit. A to the Mo. Elephant. That's the name of the next song. Some more hip-hop for you. This is going to be good. I guarantee it. On sleradio.com.
Yeah. You don't wanna feel these shoes. You don't even wanna take a walk with me. So many thoughts I've locked up, boxed up, chain, gotta set some free. Outside I look fine, but deep down I can't breathe. Gasping for air as I drown in my anxiety. Society has got no control on me, trying to tell me what I'm supposed to be, but I'm against the ropes, I can't fall, won't leave, won't sleep till I get a chance to live these dreams. Does anybody hear these screams? No, didn't think so. It's myself and me on this two-man team, no witness scene, so it's case closed. I'm angry at times and it's killing my vibe. Insecurities deep as I wish they would dilate a fire inside of my mind. When I rhyme, I just wanna be special, just wanna shine. Yeah, I just wanna shine. I take it one day at a time. I'll be fine if I can find ways to pass the time, and I just need to clear my broken mind.
Broken inside, got nothing to hide. Can't swallow my pride, can't push it aside. So long that I've been this way. What's wrong with me? Or is it society? Cause it's a trip, yeah, it's a trap. Can't get a grip, can't get a grasp. The time pass, it moves fast, and there's no going back. But I keep it moving, even when there's no light at the end. Only friends, dude, in my head. Just wish that I could do it all again. But I can't, so I try to make it make some sense. Coming down from the top of the fence, in the room, and I'm the elephant. I'm the elephant, forgotten one but still relevant. Excuse me a second while I vent. Got no time to be hesitant. Hell nah, they don't like me, that's cool, that's fine. Play dumb, never been a fool, nope. Probably smarter than you, facts. College grad, yeah, that's true. But my story's different, born gifted but born sinning. Took my losses to get to winning. Funny thing is I'm just beginning. But I know how it go. To get to the high, gotta deal with the low. Ultimate goals to take control. Become consistent and never fold. Really, that's all you can do. I'm telling myself so I can tell it to you. So let me ask a question or two. Have you ever had your dreams come true? Ever had it taken from you? Just ask me, I can vouch for the truth. But I'm still here standing on my two. Now I know there's nothing I can't do. So I keep striving, dead inside but reviving. Laying low like Bin Laden, about to win like Joe Biden. Fuck Trump, am I crazy? Yeah, maybe, but this is the shit that made me. Thank you, music, cause you saved me. But still, I'm broken inside, got nothing to hide. Can't swallow my pride, can't push it aside. So long that I've been this way. What's wrong with me? Or is it society? Cause it's a trip, yeah, it's a trap. Can't get a grip, can't get a grasp. The time pass, it moves fast, and there's no going back. But I keep it moving, even when there's no light at the end. Only friends, dude, in my head. Just wish that I could do it all again. But I can't, so I try to make it make some sense. Coming down from the top of the fence, in the room, and I'm the elephant.
A the Mo, I feel irrelevant. I'm not religious, but shit, I feel heaven sent. Because I'm two different people, and both, man, I need them. Just need some cohesion, that's evident. I try not to give a fuck, but it's hard to stay celibate. When you so rock hard, you giving fucks for the hell of it. Turn into a dick so big you can't measure it. Then depression hits. I ain't so special, bitch, I'm expressionless. And on the bright side, extra thick, a white guy, but who gives a shit? Introspective, I get when shit gets tough, like wish I didn't suck. And I wish I had enough confidence to meet my insecurities and keep my head up. But at least I'm cool, right? The coolest, the dopest. Yes, I swear, dudes, I'm awesome. I'm smoking pot too often, no way I'm not coughing. I'm beats, God, I'm not spitting with CJ and forgotten. I'm all questions, no answers. Here's going in circles, you know, like slow dances. Bring up the past, like necromancers. Then back on my bullshit, like Mo is a rancher.
Broken inside, got nothing to hide. Can't swallow my pride, can't push it aside so long that I've been this way. What's wrong with me? Or is it society? Cause it's a trip, yeah, it's a trap. Can't get a grip, can't get a grasp. The time passed, it moves fast, and there's no going back. But I keep it moving, even when there's no light at the end. Only friends, dude, in my head. Just wish that I could do it all again. But I can't, so I try to make it make some sense. Coming down from the top of the fence, in the room, and I'm the elephant.
Well, how great was that? Just awesome. That was H to the Mo featuring CJ Jones. CJ Jones. That's a difficult name to say. For a Fin and Forgotten One. Great song. Just great. That was from a collab album that H to the Mo has released a while back. It's called Internet Friends 2. What a great concept. Make a record with your friends online. Well, I've done kind of the same thing, but I liked it. I mean, from the sparse beat, the way everything kind of worked in the background, and then this sort of classic hip-hop track, which is with some of the greatest, best lyrics I've heard in that genre. And it's kind of like a monologue / dialogue, or however many. I think there were like 3 voices there. Anyway, the way it was all put together was just, I was really engrossed in it, really listening, really paying attention. And that's saying something in this day and age, you know. And it just flowed so perfectly. Everything about it was great. This was another record that I got, that Joey from Limbocast sent me. Said, this is... I don't think there was even, what's that? A message, an accompanying message. It was just a link and say, this is the record. You better play it. I'm sure that was he was thinking. That's what he was thinking. I don't know. The song was called Elephant, and it featured, indeed, CJ Jones. This is really difficult to pronounce. God damn it. A to the Mo featuring CJ Jones and Forgotten One. Be sure to check all 3 of them out. They're all great artists, and it was great to play it on the show. Another hip-hop track. Some really good stuff here, you know, really varied bunch. All I was missing was black metal. Why can't I get a black metal submissions? I gotta play more Spire, maybe. Anyway, numbers. Do you think I care about numbers? That seems to be a thing that's on quite a few people's minds. I'm not nearly as active on Twitter as I used to be, owing to the fact that I'm kind of busy doing this and other things. But there seems to be a preoccupation there. I mean, nobody's surprised that, you know, numbers mean things to people. I certainly pay attention to them. I mean, I notice if my show has like 22 replays on Mixcloud as opposed to 11. But should I really care? I think I should not. Do numbers actually tell you something of the quality of what's contained within whatever it is that you're measuring? Is it a Spotify play? Is it a YouTube view? Is it I don't know, I do a 2-hour show and slam it on Mixcloud. If I get, you know, does it matter if, you know, if 22 people, if it's been replayed 22 times, does it mean anything? Of course it doesn't. Everybody knows that there's tons of amazing artists out there that barely crack like double digits or triple digits with their, you know, plays. Obviously, you can pump up your numbers. You can, damn it, you can buy them if that's what you're into. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. Go ahead, go right ahead. But kind of the rhetorical question I'm asking here is, do I care about them? And the answer is obviously yes. I just wish I didn't. I do pay attention to them. But I've made a very deliberate shift from, like, chasing numbers on YouTube, for instance. I'm shutting down my channel over there. I tweeted about it, and I think some people thought I was joking, but obviously I'm not. I really dislike the Google, YouTube model of how they do go about doing things, and I don't want to contribute to that ever again. And I realize this song is also being played on this program is being broadcast over YouTube as well, and that's not my choice. I'm not against it. It's fine. Use it if you must, and I'm not certainly preaching to anybody to do things differently. I don't even know why I felt like I needed to say something about this, but here we are. This is what I do sometimes. Go off on a tangent. But yeah, on numbers, really, it's kind of dull. Reading a Twitter feed, sometimes it seems like the only thing there is people saying, oh, I need more of this, I need more of that. I got so and so many plays on this and that platform. I mean, it's great, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in particular. I just wish that there was just more, I guess, I don't know, genuine engagement, people actually listening to the music, and there is that too. I'm not saying that at all. Like, my inner circle of people that I follow on Twitter it's pretty much all about that, putting the time and effort and actually listening and saying, I don't know. But numbers really are just numbers. In the end, you're gonna be remembered for the music you made, the arts you created, hopefully, and not for having 15 billion plays on Spotify. What the hell does that even mean? I listened to a song that had over 1 billion plays on Spotify by accident. And I gotta say that it was by far worse than anything on this show. Even the speech is better. Well, never mind. Swayze. Let's just lighten the mood with some Swayze. I've played Swayze before. I played a song called Sidewalk, which was this funk explosion that just lighted up the room that I was in when I was playing it, and I think it was quite possibly the high point of the show that I played it in. This is another song from Swayze. This is called Overdrive. It was the second that I considered for that show at the time, but this is what you're gonna get now. Overdrive on sleradio.com. That was Overdrive from Swayze. Great song. That was a hit, if ever there was one. If it wasn't a hit, it certainly deserves to be one. Oh, what a great song. Man, that synth solo towards the end, that was like, oh yeah, give me more. That was a great song. Just awesome. I like the impassioned delivery that Swayze, whoever sings for that project, I should know, but I don't. It just fits perfectly, and there's something really unique about that, about his phrasing. I loved it on Sidewalk, but even more so on this one. This is easily my favorite Swayze song. So good, so cool, brilliant song. Really sort of retro 80s, but in a good way. None of the like I said earlier on the show, in the show that there's none of the cheese in it. It's just heartfelt and cool. And great songwriting, that's the main thing, you know. It's a good song, you know. You could do that in any style you wanted. You turn it into a reggae and it would probably be cool. Hey, there's an idea, a Swayze reggae. Anyway, we're nearing the end of the show. A couple more songs to play and then I'll be out of your lives for another week or possibly forever. You never know how these things turn out. The Almsmen. A recent submission via Twitter, this group, and the song that we're gonna listen to from them is called The Forest. Starts now on SLEradio.com.
Another way, but at the same time, it is as necessary for me to be as vigorous in condemning the conditions which cause persons to feel that they must engage in riotous activities as it is for me to condemn riots. I think America must see riots do not develop out of thin air. In the final analysis, a riot is the language of the unheard.
Standing in the streets with military presence, you can hear the wolves out.
What the hell was that? That was the Almsmen. That was a song called The Forest. Garage rock band out of Lake Balboa, Los Angeles, UK, USA. God damn it. Know your geography. That was a great sort of, they're a garage rock band. I didn't quite know what to expect. I put them on as without listening. I thought, well, give them a chance. Probably good. And indeed it was. But I was taken aback by it all. But then their description on Twitter reads, we play whatever we want. Well, that came across beautifully. I love that style, that sort of disjointed but together style of songwriting and performance right there. I'm pretty sure that these guys would be great to see live. Not ever gonna happen for me, unfortunately, but anybody that ever has a chance to see the Almsmen live whenever they get to play. I don't know what with the coronas and all the other annoying things that happen. That it's nearing the end of the show, and you can tell. But it's been a good one, hasn't it? I pretty much agree, except for that long-winded rant about numbers. That was kind of pointless. But, you know, sometimes that happens. Cause and Consequence is the name of the next song. Yes, of course, it's the song. I'm looking at my DAW, and sometimes the files that I'm looking at are named by the artist, and sometimes it's the song. Cause and Consequence. The band is called D-Chroma. And let me just check. I think this might be another Joey Wilkie thing. Well, let's listen to it and I'll get back to it. What does it even matter where I got it from? But it's here now. D-Chroma. The song is called Cause and Consequence.
tumbling down in fire and ruin. The choking mass of dust and ash pours through the streets below. And high above it all she watches, trembling like the steel she clutches. End of all connected things, here at the fall of everything she knows. Fear and fire surround us. Now the consequence has found us. And now the skies that seem so clear, filled with threats and promises of suffering and fear.
Wow, that was a great ending. And that was a great song. Serious is seriously heavy. That was D Chroma from Toronto, Canada. We've had a number of Canadian artists on this show today, which means a grand total of nothing except maybe that Canada produces some quality tunes, regardless of genre, which is what makes the world round. And indeed, quite a great place to be in this day and age, because you never know what the hell you're going to get from where it comes. You know, you can't ever make any... well, you can, but you're most likely going to be wrong if you start assuming that if you get something from Canada, it's going to sound like Bryan Adams or Rush or Neil Young. Not that there's anything wrong with any of them except Bryan Adams, but, you know. I digress. That was a great song. There was a... I must admit the band that sprung to mind from listening to that was Dream Theater, and I'm not a big Dream Theater fan. In fact, I'm not a fan at all. I don't really care for their brand of music. I think Mike Portnoy was and indeed is a great drummer, but outside of one or two songs, I've never cared for them. But that's just because of the singer. James LaBrie, not my kind of guy. Anyway, that singer in this band was great for that song, and indeed that whole band. Their vibe is not fun. Let's put it that way. But it was a great... the intent behind it was like I said, it sounded really kind of serious, but not in a bad way. It was like there was some serious weight behind the way it was kind of presented to the world. Does this make sense? No, it doesn't. But then it was the second to last song of the show, so you know what's coming next. If you've been listening to this show previous episode. They're all up on Mixcloud, by the way. If you want to check them out, you will find them. Just type Jeff Vicario to the search field on Mixcloud, and you can find them. But then that would be just to make my numbers bigger, so it would probably serve me right if you didn't. What? I don't know. I'm going to play a song from the latest Black Distortion EP. This is the title track. This is called Mind, and I'm going to play it simply because I think it is the best mixing job I've done so far, maybe ever. And for the first time, probably in my life, I didn't feel like cutting my ears and my hands off after, releasing a song. This turned out pretty good. Whether the song is any good, I'll leave that to your... And, well... All things being subjective, what do I know? I don't know. But this is 9 minutes of Black Distortion, and feel free to tune out right now. If you don't want to listen, this has been a great show, hasn't it? Great music, great artists. From Gargoyle to the Chroma via Swayze and somewhat incognito Pernicious Birds, Alias GK, Wolves and Wizards, Stark Smoke Signal, Kuel, A New Hope, CoTown Records, Matt Hodges. Did I forget anyone? Probably did. Pernicious Birds, Liaquat Khan, A to the Mo featuring CJ Jones and Forgotten One, etc., etc. It's been a great show. I'll be back next week, show 15, with some great, great music. Again, thanks for listening. And support SLE Radio. Bye now.
Coldtown Records.